Hi guys, hope you're doing well. My name is Lewis and I am a nutritional balancing practitioner, and a message that we received recently on the YouTube channel was, when did I first start to get my energy back? So again, this is different for everyone. I know that my energy levels was on the bad end of the scale, if you want to put things on a scale. But I'll try and keep it short because I could drag this on for quite a while. But basically, I had energy before I started the nutritional balancing program, but it was false energy. It was fight or flight, sympathetic dominant energy. I've always slept for very long periods of time, and I've always slept. I've always felt really tired in the mornings, ever since being a child, actually. It wasn't until the nutrition balancing program, when the scaffolding that my body had put up to keep me in sympathetic dominance started to come down. Well, it came down, and I really experienced extreme exhaustion. And that probably lasted for about a year. I was getting gradual bouts of energy, but I was getting really bad exhaustion for about a year on a nutrition balancing program. However, it wasn't constant for a year. I think if I was constantly fatigued for a year all the time, I wouldn't have stuck to the program. So there was times when, for example, if I would rest all weekend, I would get up on a Monday morning, and I would have a little bit of energy, for example, in the morning. But maybe that would last for 1 hour, 2 hours. Maybe it'd last for a morning, etc. And one of the things that I started to realise with energy and with nutritional balancing is that a good idea is to see your energy a little bit like a bank account. A lot of people who do nutritional balancing don't really have an idea how fatigued they actually are. They are way, way, way more fatigued than they could possibly imagine, for the most part. And what they will do is, if they get a little bit of energy, they'll just use it up. Boom, they'll use it up, because they don't realise that energy is like a bank account. You need to kind of store it up. So if you imagine in the beginning, when I first started, maybe my energy level was like minus, £100,000 in debt. And I would kind of heal the body, and I'd maybe go to minus 90,000 and think that I've gained some energy, when in reality I haven't really gained much energy. I'm still in the red, basically. And I would use it up really quickly. So I had to learn to kind of look at my energy like a bank account. And even when it got into the green, maybe I was plus £10, I would just use that up, maybe by trying to build a business and stuff, and then I kind of would go back down again and have to rethink things and start over. But there was many times when I was in shock at the exhaustion that I was in. It was just like pure shock, just thinking, how on earth am I this tired? It's ridiculous. And when is it going to stop? And am I ever going to be energetic again? I didn't even know what it was like to feel energetic. I would used to look at people around me and just think, how on earth are they living a life like that? I just look at just a normal person, doing their daily chores, thinking, how have they got energy to do that? I just couldn't. It just didn't register in my mind, because I was just so tired constantly. But as I say, I learned to rest a lot. As I got into the mindset of just focusing on rest all the time. It was a difficult transition, because I was just a constant do, drive. So I remember going through a process in the beginning of the nutrition balancing program, just like retraining my mind to stop thinking like that, and to start thinking in more of a kind of wanting to rest, and like I should be resting. And I remember that was quite difficult, actually, to get into that mindset, because my personality just wasn't that. So I think the first year was just a year of just total chaos and confusion and fatigue, and just like, dragging yourself through the days, basically, and kind of wanting the day to finish so you can wake up in the morning and see if you had any more energy. So year 2, I started getting a little bit of energy back. Maybe I would go a day or a day and a half. Maybe I could work, for half a day or a full day. Year 3, that's when I kind of started getting some sort of energy, whereby I would get energy maybe throughout the day until like 4 or 5 o'clock, and then I would get a dip and go down again. By the way, I'm guessing a little bit now, because I'm 6 years down the line, so I can't remember exactly when I got energy back. Probably by year 4, I was able to work, 3-4 days a week. Again, I needed to rest quite a lot. By year 5, definitely my energy started coming back to normal. However, although I could probably do what normal people do, I'm still in the mindset of basically, oh wow, I'm getting questions. Cool, I'm doing this on my mobile phone. And usually I do it as unlisted and then make it live, but this is going live by the looks of things, so yeah, I'm getting questions pop up. Maybe I'll answer them at the end. So right, year 5, I basically started, I was getting energy back, but I was in the mindset, I dealt with the whole driven personality, so I was in the mindset of just like knowing how to rest and stuff. So I was resting quite a lot. So yeah, now with year 6 is different. So I've kind of gone past the normal energy level section. So now actually people comment on my energy levels. So people are like, "Wow, you have a lot of energy. You're very vibrant. You look very healthy. Where's your confidence coming from, etc., etc." So yeah, it's been a slow process. I have to admit, and it's a lot more complex than that, obviously. But you got to admit, I was in a very bad state. I was far more worse than I possibly expected when I first started the nutrition balancing program. But the trick is really, if I could go back again, I would understand that I was completely in debt, like in terms of my energy, and I needed to see it as as like I was in debt. I didn't see it like that. I didn't realise how lacking in energy I was. So I would just use up my energy really quick, and I would go back to square one, and I have to rebuild again and use it, and I kind of got myself into this catch-22. If I could go back again 6 years, I would just totally surrender to the fatigue, because that's actually the quickest way. One of the quickest ways to heal is basically to just try and surrender to the fatigue and try and love yourself through it. That's the most difficult part, is to love yourself through the fatigue and through the difficult times, and stuff. So I did get a question, how did you fund yourself? So when I first started, I was at university, so I had some student loan. Although I didn't have much energy, I could force myself to do stuff, although it was like a complete and utter drag. Like, so I think I did work a little bit at a restaurant, but I was just trying to do the minimal. And then what happens on a nutrition balancing program? This is probably more esoteric, so bear with me if it gets a little bit woo woo. But what I did find is when I started nutrition balancing program, things started happening, like as if I was getting help from somewhere. I was just getting coincidences that just I wasn't getting before in my life, which was really, really strange. And so one big coincidence for me in terms of finances was 3 days before I was to leave to go to Thailand, an old insurance claim came in, and that was worth like something like 5 or 6 grand, which like helped me out so much, and I was just like, man, that feels like a gift from somewhere. The next stage of luck I had in Thailand was I was in Thailand for maybe 1 or 2 months, and I met a guy called Robert Morgan, who's a practitioner in Thailand, and to buy some supplements, and he literally said, look, come and work for me. I'm setting up a health retreat. And basically he kind of took me under his wing a little bit and paid for a lot of different things. So I was very, very lucky for that. I did do some work for him, sorting out the hair analysis tests, and it did give me opportunity to learn a lot about nutritional balancing when I was sick, because I would sort out all the tests and answer emails, and you know, yeah, basically sort out supplements and stuff. Then when I came back from Thailand, I had a certain amount of energy, but I couldn't do a full-time job. So I started up a web design and graphic design business, which was difficult. I was lucky because I could live at my mum's house, and I was able to kind of scrape my way. And again, the next coincidence was I met this guy who basically like got me loads and loads of web design jobs. It was just like, wow, like such a coincidence that, you know, and whenever I felt like I was struggling to earn money, whenever I started getting desperate for money, it would come to me. Now I know that I was actually getting help from elsewhere, and that sounds bizarre, but when you realise the truth about the world, you realise that it's not just us. There's other beings and entities that work to help other people, basically. So yeah, as soon as you start a nutrition balancing program, you start getting help, which is really interesting. And that kind of went on from there. So my energy came back, and I started to build a business. Then I had the energy to build Deep Healing Space, and now I've got like 3 or 4 different businesses all running at the same time, and I managed to have energy for all of that. I did get another question. Let me see if I can see them. Oh, I think someone asked me what my first hair analysis test was. I'm not too sure what it was. Oh, there it is. But I was in 3 lows. I remember that, and I also remember that I was in severe sympathetic dominance. And I also remember that my arsenic level was through the roof. And in fact, the arsenic level was so high that the lab, which I've never experienced before, the lab actually said, can you send back a sample of your pubic hair, because this arsenic level is so high. I sent the arsenic level back, and it was even higher. I used to drink a lot of red wine, like bottles of red wine, so I think probably it's from that. So I hope that's answered your question in terms of when did my energy start coming back. It's very complex. I think if I sat down and thought about it'd be a much more longer video. But I don't want you to get discouraged, because, as I say, like I was in a very, very, very severe pattern. Working with clients now, I have quite a few clients, so I've got a lot of experience. There is only a few that I think are probably in the same position as what I was. So don't let the time worry you. The most important thing is that it is kind of doable to overcome it, and you need to really think about your energy as a bank account, and just realise that you need to just invest. And when you feel like you've got energy, don't throw it away. Do not throw it away. Try and keep hold of it, and try and kind of focus it a little bit in kind of a soft, fluid, gentle way. So I'm going to wrap it up there. If anyone wants to send in a question quickly, then I'll answer them. If not, then I hope you're all doing good. I know I haven't really been on YouTube too much recently. I have been building a new business based on community where I live, because one of the things that has happened to me as my energy has improved and my clarity has improved and my happiness and confidence has improved is that I've realised that I had a serious lack of connections with people and community, and I could feel that was a new layer for me to build upon and work with, because it wasn't working too good for me. So yeah, I'm building a community project, basically bringing people together and teaching them about health and reconnection with the earth and reconnection with themselves. Any advice on how to juggle being a mum of 2 young kids with school obligations, etc., when I have no energy for anything except cooking and keeping all our basic needs met? It's difficult. There's no real I wish I could give you a simple answer, apart from just to try and meditate whenever you can. If you get a spare 10-20 minutes, meditations are the best form of relaxation, relaxing the body and resting the body, just switching off the mind as much as possible. If you get 20 minutes when the kids are asleep or when they're at school, or an hour. I mean, my energy was bad enough, so I just can't imagine what it's like with 2 kids. But being knowledgeable and understanding what you're going through, you are basically, you've already got your foot through the door by really understanding it and not feeling a victim, and not feeling and taking just owning your life lessons, own them, and realise that you can love yourself through the process. A lot of people get into victim mentality, just like I did. Why is this happening to me? Poor me. Why does it not happen to anyone else? But if you can see it from a different perspective, whereby this is an opportunity to learn so much about who you are and what life's really about, and how to bring up your children and how to keep your children healthy, then you can bring love into the situation. And instead of kind of feeling sorry for yourself, maybe you can light some candles, you can meditate, wrap up in something nice, and gaze through the window at the stars. You can bring love to the situation, although it doesn't feel too nice. So that's probably my advice, something that I didn't do, that I do now actually, when I feel like I'm going for a healing reaction. Instead of being a victim, thinking, oh, poor me, I'll actually use it to my advantage and kind of use it as an excuse to kind of give myself a lot of love. So anyway, it's quite late in England, so I'm going to leave it there. But if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments box. I think the general trend that I'm going to start doing with YouTube is to answer questions in little short snippets like this, rather than long videos. I know this is quite a long one. So thanks for watching. Speak to you soon. Over and out.